This is not looking good. This thing, the cyan is covered in magenta. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have a chat because I have the override code. These things again. Oh, this one. Stupid.
Possible security threat detected.
Where are you two going? Is that an egg?
Analyzing scrutiny matrix.
I do not like the sound.
Security threat confirmed.
That means that has to go around that one. So then that one has to... No. This one. They can't go that way. There's nowhere for it to go. That one has to lock into that point there. That one goes to there, that one goes to there. It's gotta be around that way. But then that goes down to a fault line. Has to go off there. This is good. That has to go there. Okay. Has to... has to go that way. That's 45 degrees, that can't go anywhere. Okay, maybe it's this way. Maybe I think we think about it one way. That cannot go any other way. That has to go around there. That one has to go. No. Go back in. Oh, this one is stupidly hard. Especially for me. The last one I did of these was okay. It's giving me any information. That way. That way.
Preparing countermeasures.
I do not like the sound of that, thank you. Could you not?
Recapture protocol initiated.
What do you mean recapture? Okay.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the blue light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raid the signal constraints. One has been exposed, but I am incorporating.
Unauthorized protocol returned. Scheduled task.
Great. So,
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core.
You should know
The
that.
answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Okay. This thing's most probably going to be a tall thing, and it's going to be most probably good enough. That I don't think is going to be helpful, so I'm going to need that. Tear blaster, most probably. Let's just go and put these in a better position. So. Nice, but this.
Keep moving towards the core.
Just looking out for anything that's actually the resources, they're all coming in. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
We have to go down.
Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for?
Shields. Losing my shields right now, but sit in a combat. All right, here we go. Tower's down. Super force through. And it's fine.
The new unit that Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us.
Take it down!
Yep, go! I'm hoping you're good. I'm here in Rockwood.
Isn't type strong enough.
What is that? Okay. Alright. Do this here. Back in. Keep hitting. Oh, this thing is broken. Big boy.
Gotcha! Don't let them out of your sight!
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm not
He is an adaptive AI,
Another tower! Stop it from repairing the beast!
Wait. Okay. Hold it off! Don't use it, buddy!
The tower is repairing the machine.
I know, I'm trying! Ah! You sit down. Do more work.
Deal with the tower! Quickly!
Run, I'm trying to stop the signal from attacking it. Come on.
Deal with the tower! Quickly!
Trying?
It's holding! We must prevail!
He's dead. Now I can do it. is a lot more tricky than I thought. Yeah. Oh, we got it. Go away! Ow! Stopping me from doing anything. It's adapting. Feels like I'm not going to him.
Our enemy.
He's back. Hold on to it.
Not holding.
Good! A tower!
Oh my goodness.
Don't let her repair the machine!
Yep.
The enemy's frozen. He does not like me! Yeah. Snap them up! key.
Fireclaw Heart. It's the first time I've actually found one of them, and I am going to take it. Give me... Oh, You've got to be kidding me. It took the one thing I did not want it to take. This first one of those hearts I've actually come
You spoke
across.
of the tower. What must be done with it?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just doing something. Well, you know how it goes, we just defeated a larger enemy. That really came in handy.
The tower. Perhaps it must be destroyed.
Maybe I can reconfigure it. Because if I remember rightly, I've got the code that might actually reset the thing. I think... Oh, there's supplies up here, hang on. I don't think there's any more info around here. Right. This is all normal, by the way. How the how's it going to be like when I try it on a harder level? I don't think there's anything else around. I'm just going to have a quick look. I don't remember seeing anything. I mean,
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative.
No!
Power network.
we did.
Araya! Don't!
Oh, no, no, no.
Spirit! Zion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free.
She took one hell of a jolt. Is she going to die?
You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Artok. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
Don't you dare make me run. Oh, typical. If you lose anything now, attack we're running.
One of those?
It's the only way!
Hold on now, sir. Wow. Science just dropping the system into the
Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! A bomb! Quick!
Great Panukai.
Spider-Man now. Did we start an avalanche? Oh dear. Oops. This is my final. Oh dear. Awaken, Aloy. You've got shields, our attack does not. But even then, that's gonna hurt.
Rhea is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
Where are we? All the way over here? We came from there. Fire. Did I find everything? That mutated fire claw. I figured out the shoulder pads were the best place to attack. The same with the frost claw, so we got the fire claw. Okay, Speak to Aratak and Cyan at the mountain retreat. Wow. Have I missed one, or am I still going to find one? I do have 3 skill points to go. That, I think. Or skills learned. Intriguing. I think... Switch to the Ice Hunter Master, I think. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight to Araya's retreat, unless we have to go in a different route. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go and have a chat with Aratak after that monstrous battle with the Fire Claw. At least now I understand how to fight them. I've got a feeling I've missed one somewhere. I know on the things that were saying that I've missed one, but I'm not sure where I've missed it.
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
Show emotion is strong. You've lost some.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
I'm going to go and talk to Aratak first. I'll speak to you in a minute, Cyan. I need to chat with him. Make sure he's alright. I don't want him chucking himself off the roof or something. I would have made this all for nothing if it
I think
doesn't.
there's frost between my teeth.
So please stop talking about frost between your teeth when you're talking to Aratak.
My chieftain,
Just, Aloy,
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
Well, you didn't let her down. Not one bit. You fought as bravely as she did.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her.
Good.
Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared.
Good.
The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
Time to talk to Cyan. Should be interesting.
Out of the forge. Great. Just when I thought we were finishing this up, we've now got to go and find units that got launched. Great. They're all fire claws. I don't think I've missed any. I've been pretty thorough. I've been a lot more thorough than I thought I should be. Okay, Cyan. Talk to me.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Araya's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Araya's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
What are you? I know it sounds like you're an adaptive AI with a personality.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Araya who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
She changes colour whenever she talks about Araya. Tell me about Firebreak.
This Firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Well, your colleagues were happy you were being built, but they just didn't know what the hell you were doing there.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Okay, that could be the last information we need. Now, was Hephaestus destroyed? I don't think he was, but...
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
So we're going to have Hephaestus and Hades in Silence's hands coming back to fight us next time. You and Hephaestus.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
She has color schemes and changes on her, what she's saying. When she was being tortured, she was orange. When she felt empathy and sadness for Aurea and for Aloy, she went green. When she was talking about all the other stuff she did, she was in blue. So that's the tech side. We know about Hephaestus and Zero Dawn.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge. and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
It doesn't sound like Hephaestus that we always believe in. Hephaestus was always a builder, not a wanting to kill.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me
Yeah.
both, Cyan.
Well, I did find something that calmed the machines, which was weird.
I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I.
This is all the stuff we found out throughout the entire game. The metal flowers. Do you know what they're all about?
I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
Yeah. Let's go and have a chat about Yellowstone.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan.
Yeah. The dam.
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
No. No, don't. The drone.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Yeah, from what I've been reading about him, he was a right douche canoe. The AIs.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Okay, but still humanity holding on to the proverbial leash of AI. Tell me about the douche canoe called Ted Farrow.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one.
Yeah, because it was most, if I remember rightly, it was Elizabeth Sobek who did all the work under him to actually make all this work, and then she left.
And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was it like?
What was the old world like? The way it used to be.
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
And the upheaval?
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback,
Wasn't that in the 30s or something?
So things got better. For a little while at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
Yeah. Ted Farrow made an adaptive AI that decided it was going to run a rampage across the world called a Hearts Team or Swarm. That in turn began to learn and adapt and started taking away all the foliage and the people and killing them. Yeah, I hope we don't make the same mistake. Tell me about Araya.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined.
Yeah. Treat Aratak well, please. He's gone through a lot.
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
Yep.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Well, I don't think there's anything more I can ask. Farewell, Cyan.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
Take it gently.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can.
Okay, what do we got?
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent, so intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep. Wake up. And protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
Oh, I had vibes of 2001, 2010 there. I really did. 2001 and then 2010 with Dr. Chandra, I think it is, when he turned off his HAL 9000 back at the Mission Control or one of the scientific centers in America. I can't remember where. Oh, no, on board the Discovery, wasn't it? How goes Will I Dream? And Dr. Chandra goes, I don't know how. Just hearing that really made me remember that scene in not all its fullness, but I remember it so well. And it just reminded me of that. Do we have anything more on that data point? Damn, I missed one. Anyway. Yeah. That was it. So what we got? Out of the forge. Yeah. Kill 5 of the fire claws? Oh my goodness. Let's take a quick look at the fire claw. But 5 of them, where are they? Oh my. There's 2 next to Song's Edge. Or 1 nearby here. But I won't be doing that now. Was that door always open over there?
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus, all very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too, and unleashed them on the world, as minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
Ooh. Silence has just warned off Aloy. Not the best thing you could have done. So this was the other route in. I've missed the quest marker. Damn. I didn't think I'd missed one. It's kind of annoyed me. I haven't got the full story now. But that's going to do it for now. I've gone through quite a lot of resources and time now. So we've still got to find the 5 of these. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Wait a minute. 5. One, 2, 3, 4. I get a bad feeling that the 5th one is going to be at the hunting grounds keeper. Because there is a trial there I cannot do. And maybe that trial might give me the final item I need. But that'll be for next time. Because right now we are going to look over this snow-coloured peak. Oh, that stormbird is still there. I thought it'd run away or flown away then. But yeah. That's it for now. And I will see you next time out. Boy, was that quite a ride.